Right, Miloni, breaking news coming in. Sanjay Dutt has been given a 5-year prison term. That's confirmed by the Supreme Court. They're confirming that yes, he has been given a 5-year prison term. His sentence by the Tada court here in Mumbai was of 6 years. That has been lowered now to 5 years. That's absolutely the minimum at all possible. Ketki, what's really happening there? What's the news from Supreme Court?
5 years, which basically means he served 18 months, so which means he will have to serve out the rest of the sentence. But yes, the Supreme Court has reduced 1 year. He was given 6 years. It's come down to 5 years. So that would perhaps be some sort of relief for Sanjay Dutt, but not quite, because they will perhaps he will have to serve out the remainder of his sentence. Tejas?
Right, 18 months, as you're saying, he already has served inside court in the jail, in the Arthur Road jail itself. This is before his conviction by the court here in Mumbai. And of course, after that also, he has served in total 18 months. So 1.5 years he has served. So now 3.5 years more he needs to serve. Where in Maharashtra he will serve, that of course remains to be seen. But a big story coming out from the Supreme Court. Actor Sanjay Dutt has been found guilty. His conviction has been upheld by the Supreme Court, but only for 5 years. In fact, it is reduced from 6 years that the lower court had given, and now it has only given him a 5-year prison term. This, of course, Miloni, is the minimum really possible under the Arms Act, under which he had really been found guilty, because the sections which were imposed on him, the minimum is 5 years, the maximum goes up to about 10 years. So this would bring some sort of relief for him. But of course, at the end of the day, his demand, Miloni, was that the entire order be set aside. This was not a terror charge. He had bought it out of fear, he said, the AK-56 rifle, and then went ahead and destroyed it. So this will come as some sort of relief for him. But of course, not really entirely, given the fact that he will have to spend now 3.5 years in jail. Miloni.
Tejas, I really don't think this is going to come out as any kind of relief to actor Sanjay Dutt, because he's spent 18 months in jail. I think after the sentence which had come out from the Supreme Court, when the death sentences were commuted to life sentences, I think he would have hoped for a very minimum sentence. In fact, he would have hoped that, somehow the judge would see the merit in the arguments that have been constantly made by his lawyers, and that has been that he was scared. The weapons were never meant to harm anyone, and the weapons that he had procured were...
That these are all young men between 20 30, all these 10 death awardees. And number 3 factor is that they have already served 18 to 20 years in prison already. So I think these factors must have weighed in the mind of Supreme Court in dispensation of justice, and Supreme Court probably has come out with this finding that, well, aims of justice would be met if their death sentence can be converted into life.
So as a lawyer, and since you were associated with the case, do you think there is some chance of reply for Sanjay Dutt now that the final verdict is out?
Well, it's a very narrow window for him. Once the Supreme Court has heard his appeal fully and has given a reasoned order, we will have to read that reasoned order before we can finally make any comments. But for the time being, as the consequence is that his sentence of 5 years has been approved by the highest court, and he has only suffered 1.5 years. The remainder sentence he will have to serve, for which the legal course would be that I think he will have to offer himself for serving the rest of the sentence.